welcome to the Light and Dark podcast. I'm your host, Sam Renfro. In this podcast, we'll explore what it means to be fully human, embracing all aspects of the human experience, the light and the dark. We'll discuss all things health and wellness, spirituality, and everything in between. And I'll share all of the impactful tools and lessons that I've learned on this planet so far. The light is within you. Can you feel it? Okay, welcome back to the Light and Dark podcast. My name is Sam. As always, I'm so happy to be here. I'm happy you're here. And yeah, I have been feeling a lot of things. I feel like this last month has been super up and down, but in a good way, in a way that is illuminating a lot of things that we can learn and grow from. And I hope you're feeling the same way. Today, I wanted to specifically talk about giving, receiving, and the transmission of energy. And that might sound like a kind of esoteric or mystical term, but like an energy transmission can be many things. And I feel like if we can break it down a little bit and understand the concept, then we can understand how it affects our life every day. And just to take it back a little bit, I was having actually before that, yesterday, I was listening to one of my favorite teachers and channelers, and he, channels his guides who he, talks about how they come from many different places, but they're a higher group of beings. And he was sharing how the energy, when it comes through, it's coming through him as a channel and through his voice, and they are speaking to us in our language, but it affects everyone differently. And he was inviting us to really tune into how it lands for you in your body, or however that works. So that could be various different ways. It might not always be exactly what they're saying. It could be, he was saying a lot of people will get really tired and fall asleep, or a lot of people will just start daydreaming and having these visions, and it just affects everyone differently. And I noticed it was just so prominent after he said that, and then he began the channeling. I was really tuning into how it was affecting me, and I just found myself really feeling sensationally like this energy that came over me and was washing everything away, but at the same time it was like this luminous energy around me, similar to how you might feel in a Reiki session, or how I feel in a Reiki session, or and I obviously think that these two energies are related. It's higher energy coming through, coming down, and affecting us how it will. But it just got me thinking, and one of my other favorite teachers, who teaches a lot about Kabbalah, he shares that you might be listening to his podcast, for example, and you might be hearing the words, and you might like really resonate with what he's saying. But oftentimes it's not exactly the words. It's not what you're hearing. It's not the message that's coming through. It's the energy in which you deliver it. So it's like a transmission of energy. When you're hearing somebody on their podcast, it might just be the frequency at which they are sharing is hitting something in you that says, yes, I like this. I'm on a similar vibration with this. And your body and your mind and your whole energy field start to kind of synchronize in a way that feels like, yeah, this is true for me. And I've been really starting to think about this concept, especially as I begin to share more, as I hold this space for conversation, as I open my voice and start sharing my truth on the podcast. I often, I always, I should say, I've been really working with prayer and with inviting the Creator into everything that I do, and especially everything that I say. So anytime I'm going to go teach a class or a workshop or start a podcast episode or anything that it might be that I feel like I'm going to be in front of people and I might be feeling a little bit nervous, like, oh no, I'm like, I get really overwhelmed and anxious about, are people going to resonate with this? Are they going to, am I going to say the right thing? How is this going to land? And I get really caught up in my mind. And then I just simply ask the Creator to come through in my words and my voice and let everything that I say not only find the people that it's meant to find, but come through in the highest good for everyone. And that, we can go way deeper into why I've been doing that. But the core of it is when I do that, I notice that my words flow very easily. I notice that it's like I'm opening something up within me that allows for the right message to come through. And it really calms the nerves. And it's like, okay, everything that I was feeling just like disappears. And then I step into this light, if you will, or step into this almost like this version of myself who's just doing it, just in flow. And it's really cool to watch from like a third person view, as it's something that I struggled with for my entire life, is being in front of people and just feeling like seen, feeling embarrassed, feeling like awkward in a lot of times in my younger years. And then when I became a restaurant server, I really had to work on my communication and kind of work through all of these blocks around being seen or making mistakes in front of people and kind of providing an experience for someone. And I really started to enjoy that work and that concept and being able to curate those experiences for people. I mean, I was a zipline guide at one point for a couple summers and really got to allow people to have fun in kind of an adventurous and almost scary way. And, I've looked at all these times in my life where I've really been called to kind of step up and step out of my own insecurities so that I can be of service. And why am I sharing all of this? I think that this is a time for emergence, as I may have shared in a previous episode. I really feel like this is a time when people have to be radically authentic and they have to own their voice, own their being and who they are, and do the things that light them up, that they love. And, if you can make it a point to ask the Creator or whatever, a source or God or, what you call the higher power, ask that to help you and assist you and guide you in what it is that you do. I think things could really shift. But going back to my point around the energy transmission, in all of these things, I'm either becoming the conduit of energy or I'm receiving the energy. So, another example is we all know that music affects us, and it always has affected us, or it always affected me really, really deeply ever since I was a kid. I loved music more than anything. I still do. And it made me be able to, or allowed me to be able to express myself in a way that I just couldn't do with anything else. And it was like I would feel the music and the vibrations, and I would either dance or sing or jump or laugh or and I could feel it in my body. And even when I was younger, I recognized this, but I didn't really know what was happening, especially when I maybe was feeling a little bit upset or angry or hurt. I would go in my room and shut the door and turn up the music as loud as I could and just like sing the words to at the top of my lungs and like listen to this heavy metal or rock music, and I would just get out all my frustration through music. And it was kind of that time that I could be alone with myself, and it was the only way that I knew how to express. Unfortunately, I never learned how to play music, but it stayed with me my entire life. And going to music festivals a lot in my early, late teens, early 20s, and understanding all the different types of music and how they affect you, being able to dance in community and just like let things out somatically out of your body and really just get into it. I think it's such a valuable tool for us. And yet, this is another form of energy that comes at us. And, producers of movies and videos and anything really, they've understood this for a long time. They'll weave in those songs at the right moment when you're watching the film, and it just makes you feel everything so much deeper. I mean, we all can see this across the board, especially now that social media is just huge and people making all these videos and the shorts and everything. It's like you pair it with the right song and it's gonna allow you to feel it. And of course, there's kind of the darker side of it as well, where the people who want to control us will also use certain tones, certain frequencies, and certain ways to make us feel maybe some fear or some darker parts of life. And so we have to be careful about how we are receiving what we are putting into um, our field of awareness, how we're receiving it into our body, and how it's making us feel. But going back to this giving and receiving energy, you're constantly interacting with people around you. You're taking in energy all the time. And I'm not going to get too caught up in that energy staying with you and being so much of an empath that you're taking on other people's energy. But you are. It's just that you don't have to hold on to it forever. And again, another rabbit hole, but if you are taking in something that you don't like, maybe it's calling for you to heal something within your own self. Maybe it's not just somebody else's. Food for thought. But giving and receiving, what are you giving to other people? How are you showing up? What kind of energy are you coming to your social life or your job or your creativity? What kind of energy are you infusing into that thing that you painted or baked or like maybe it's music that you play, anything that you do. It could be really, really simple. Maybe it's something that you're writing. Everything that you do has energy that you're putting into it. Everything that you eat and drink and listen to and see with your eyes, everything has energy that was infused into it, whether consciously or unconsciously. And I've been beginning to notice how it's actually either uplifting or draining me. And it's really quite a phenomenon. And, of course, I talk about this all the time with the fascia and how the fascia is constantly it's interpreting everything around us. And if it's something that we like, that feels true, that is expanding us, then we're going to feel like much more open and like fluid and be in flow and feel really good. And if it's something that we don't like, that maybe puts us into a state of fear or sadness or panic or whatever it is, we're going to contract and we're going to say, "Oh, okay, cool." And it could be like a small traumatic moment for us, and we have to release the fascia around that because that's the way in which it's interacting with everything around us before we even know it. And so this giving and receiving, being really conscious of the things that you are putting in your awareness, the things that you're taking in, the things that you're putting out, and also noticing where is it the words that I'm saying? Is it the words that you're listening to on your audiobook or another podcast? Is it what they are saying that you really, really like that's making you feel good? Or is it the energy that is coming through that actually is giving your body those feel good hormones or endorphins. So I think, this could split out into so many different directions, but I really just wanted to hop on and share some reflections and just start to get you to notice, one, how's your body responding to anything and everything? And two, how are you creating? And what are you letting into your field? So, yeah, I feel like there were some other things that I wanted to share, but I think that is good for now. I hope everyone is having an amazing February so far. It's been kind of intense. I think we're only at the beginning. It's going to be a wild month, at least astrologically. We have some really big things in store this month. Um, but equally, I think it's a time for big moves. And sometimes that requires a little bit of chaos and destruction to find out what we don't want and who we are not. And then we can move in that direction that we actually want to go. But just be graceful with yourself. Allow yourself to go slow and to just kind of tune in and carry yourself with an energy of confidence and not letting everything around you really consume you or sway you one way or another. Just see if you can be strong in who you are and what you know. And if you can do that, the rest of the world may be going through this tumultuous time, but it's a necessary process. And I think in the end, it's really going to benefit all of us. So sending you so much love out there. Thank you for being a part of this, for listening to all these episodes. And yeah, I have more exciting guests coming on really soon. So if you are curious at all about the fascia and the energetic principles that I teach, please reach out. I always offer one-on-one sessions. I'm doing more and more online classes and some local events too, where I'm pairing the sound and the fascia, and it's just been really, really cool to explore. So more events, more collaborations on the way, and I will see you soon. If you like this episode, please send it to a friend, rate, review, comment, all the things really, really helps me out. And I will catch you in the next episode. Have a great day.